Okay, can you see the slide? Okay. Okay. Today's chapter is about um, the format of the contract. Right. I think maybe one of you just today asked me about the contract in Islamic and conventional practice. So I replied that you can discuss the documentation. What is the documentation process in conventional and Islamic? So the format, it comes from the format Sighah. The formatting of the contract is important, right? So today we'll discuss about the format of the contract. So our discussion will be the important aspect of the format, which is offer, Hijab in Arabic, and acceptance, which is Kabul, and mode of communication, how this Hijab and Kabul can be made, right? What is the way of communication? Because Hijab and Kabul is basically a communication between the potential buyer and potential seller, right? For example, I'm the buyer, so there is someone seller. So how we communicate? Should we communicate just apa khabar, what is your name, how are you? No, there are certain way of communication to perform the contract. Okay, so this is called ijab and qabul, and there are some ways mode of communication. The communication can be verbal, can be in a written format, and can be without any words. Right, that means can be by action or can be by signal. Right, can be by silence also. Okay, so we'll discuss today, and finally we'll discuss about the majlisul aqad, meeting of aqad, contracting session, the session that the buyer and seller, they met together, they come together and they discuss, and finally if they agree, so they conclude the contract. Okay, if they do not agree with each other, then they go out without concluding the contract. Okay, so the format or the form Sighah of a contract. The form is the instrument or the means by which a contract is made, right? Sighah means the mood of the words of communication, right? This is the way to conclude the contract. The essence of a contract is the consent of the contracting parties, right? We discussed before, right? What is the fundamental for an exchange contract? We cannot, we are not allowed, right? It is not permitted for us to take other people's property except with an exchange contract. For example, if I buy your house, then only I can touch your house. If I buy your asset, then only I can touch your asset. All right, so exchange contract. And what is the foundation? What is the main essence in the exchange contract? The consent, mutual agreement. So in other words, we cannot take other people's property without mutual agreement between us, right? So this is the essence of a contract. This is the main thing of a contract. The essence means the key function, the key point, the significance, the key meanings of a contract is what? Mutual agreement. So, but how can we know that? How can, for example, I know that the seller agrees or disagrees? Consent is a hidden matter, right? So there should have some communication to express his agreement or disagreement, right? How can I know when you are agree to sell your house unless you say clearly, I agree or I disagree? So this pronouncement or this word is Hijab and Kabul, which reveals the consent of the contracting parties. All right. So why Hijab and Kabul is important? Because it demonstrates the agreement or the consent of the contracting parties. Because consent is a hidden matter, right? So it's impossible for one party to know the consent of other party unless it is demonstrated clearly. Okay, so that's why Ijab and Kabul is important. So because of that, the wording of Ijab and Kabul is not important. And Ijab and Kabul should not limit it to the words only. It can be anything. It can be anything that disclose and demonstrates your agreement to sell or not to sell. For example, I am asking you or I am making you an offer. Do you sell me your house with that amount? If you say just you are no, shaking your head, or you smile and keep silent, so it means you agree, right? Because if you do not agree, of course you can tell expressly, you can tell clearly. So we have to understand that why ijab and qabul important, to demonstrate the consent, to know about the consent of the contracting parties, to know about the agreement or disagreement of the contracting parties. However, ijab and qabul is not limited to any single words. It can be anything that demonstrate the consent of the contracting parties, because consent is the matter, right? Consent does matter. We have to get consent. We have to get agreement to conclude the contract. So ijab and qabul is just an way of communication and just an way to get the consent of other party. So as long as consent does matter, that's why the wording or anything specifically does not matter in the ijab and qabul. It can be anything. It can be anything that demonstrate the consent. Okay, I hope you understand. So what is the meaning of ijab and qabul? Literally, ijab means to validate, right? Or simple way to make an offer, right? And qabul means satisfaction with something, acceptance of something. But when we say ijab in Fiqh Muamalat, we mean there are two opinions between Hanafi and other schools. Hanafi says ijab, first, what is expressed first from one of the contracting parties, indicating his willingness to execute a contract. So Hanafi says ijab is the first statement. That first statement can come from the seller, can come from the buyer. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes first, that will be ijab. So ijab can come from the seller. I want to sell my house with that amount. All right. Or can come from the buyer. I want to buy your house with that amount. Will you ready to sell me, or do you agree to sell your house? So ijab can come from any party. But ijab means the first statement. And qabul means the second statement, what is expressed secondly from another contracting party, indicating his consent towards what the first party has imposed. All right. So if ijab comes from the seller, the qabul should come from the buyer. So whatever the buyer will reply in accordance with the ijab, that will be qabul. So qabul should come accordingly, according to the ijab. But if ijab comes from the buyer, then the qabul should come from the seller. So this is Hanafi's opinion. They said whatever comes first, right? Whatever comes first, it will be ijab. However, according to the majority, ijab, what is expressed by the existing owner in the contract. right? So Hijab, that should become from the, for example, from the seller, from owner of the commodity, from the lessor, right? But Kabul, that's something expressed by future owner in the contract. For example, the buyer, the lessee. So that can be Hijab and Kabul. So we got the difference between Hanafi and majority. So what we understood that Hanafi said the first statement is Hijab, whether it comes from the buyer or it comes from the seller. But majority says whatever comes from the seller, from the owner of the asset, it will be Hijab. And whatever comes from the buyer or potential buyer, it will be Kabul. Types of Hijab and Kabul. Hijab and Kabul can be done from with many ways. As I mentioned earlier, the Hijab and Kabul is not limited to any words. It can be anything that demonstrate the mutual consent of the contracting parties. So words are not only way to express Hijab and Kabul, it can be considered through other different ways. Right? Can be anything. So it's subject to it is based on the following legal maxim. The Sharia principle or Qaida Fiqhiyya, legal maxim means Qaida Fiqhiyya. The Qaida Fiqhiyya says, in contracts, the consideration is given to the meaning and intention, but not to the wordings and the outward expression. So word is not important. The important is the meaning of the words. What do you mean? Okay. So Ijab and Qabul, the wording is not important. The meaning of the words means anything that reflect, anything that demonstrates the consent, it will be considered Ijab and Qabul. Okay. So al-ibra fil uqud al-mabani. No. Al-ibra fil uqud al-ma'ani. La al-mabani. Means the substance or the meaning is it should be taken into consideration in the contract. Al-ibra fil uqud al-ma'ani. La al-mabani, not the words, not the forms. So the substance shall be considered in the contracts, not the form. Okay. So this is the qaida fiqhiyya. The form will not be considered, rather substance will be considered in the contract in muamalat. So according to this maxim, Ijab and Kabul can be anything that demonstrate the consent of the contracting parties. Of course, the words are the basic medium to express Ijab and Kabul. They are mostly used by people as they are clear and easy to understand. However, there is no specific wording for Ijab and Kabul. It can be any wording. Any wording clearly reveals the consent of the contracting parties based on the custom and practice are accepted. For example, the seller says something that is considered the offer in the custom, in the customary practice. For example, in the customary practice of Terengganu, that word is considered the offer. So that word can be used to make an offer. All right. Same goes to the acceptance. Any words that is considered the acceptance in the customary practice or in the market practice, that will be considered the acceptance. So there is no single word that it should be used. Ijab and Kabul. I want to make an offer. I accept it. There is no specific word. Any word that reveals the agreement, the consent of the contracting parties based on the custom and practice, that will be accepted as Ijab or Kabul. Okay. Can the following expression be accepted as Ijab? A woman says to a man, I give myself to you, or I make you my owner. So this statement, can it be considered an offer, an Ijab? Okay. So Hanafi and Maliki school say, yes, it can be. But Shafi and Hanbali says, No, because due to some risk in using other words in relation to the contract of marriage. Because there are some other words that is common regarding the contract of marriage. So we got two opinion. Hanafi and Maliki school says, oh, can be allowed. Shafi and Hanbali say not allowed. So what is the solution? So we refer to the custom. We refer to our practice. Is it considered an offer in our customary practice, in our culture? All right. So the first point, we can refer to the custom and practice, culture. Second point, it should also be associated with the surroundings, with the circumstances. If let's say the boy and girl or the woman and man, they are okay, they are satisfied or they are happy with each other. All right. So in a situation, if there is an offer like that, so it could be considered an offer and acceptance of the marriage. So it refers to the circumstances also. It refers to the related situation. In what situation or in which situation these sentences is mentioned. Okay. So there is no single wording. If there is something is not clear, then we can refer to the culture and custom, and also we can refer to the situation, to the circumstances. Okay, for example, if any stranger, they don't know each other at all, so if simply the woman says like that, of course it cannot be considered the offer. All right. If let's say they already know each other, there are many other things already settled before in terms of discussing many issues. So after that, if this sentence is mentioned, in that case can be considered the offer. Right. Okay. Another things in Hijab and Kabul, the wording must convey the past tense. For example, Mr. A says to Mr. B, I have sold this house to you for this amount. And Mr. B replies, I have accepted. So in contracts, in Hijab and Kabul, the scholars say always the past tense should be mentioned. A contract concluded in the future tense clearly invalid. The all scholars agree that a contract cannot be concluded with a future tense. I will sell my house to you. When? Tomorrow? Next week? Next month? We don't know. Uncertain, right? So past tense is all agree. Future tense all agree that it is invalid. Past tense all agree it is valid. Whatever the present tense, the present tense can be accepted subject to the circumstantial evidence, right? Like the discussion before regarding the marriage or regarding anything. If anything is not clear, then it should refer to the customary practice, and also it can be referred to the circumstantial evidence. Okay. So if Mr. A says, sell to me your house, and Mr. B say, okay, I agree, like a kind of instruction or command or request, please sell me your house, please sell me your car, and the owner say, okay, I agree. So can it be considered the Ijab and Kabul? What our scholar says? So Hanafi school says, no, there is no Ijab and Kabul done, because it is just merely the demand for an offer. For example, I just make a request to you, sell your house to me, but there is no offer from your side. So based on my request, you can make an offer. Okay, I sold my house to you with this amount. But majority says no problem, right? So this is allowed. So again, we got many different opinion. So we can refer to the custom and circumstantial evidence. If sell me your house, then if the seller already doing everything, preparing the document and is getting ready to hand over the house, it means he agrees. So it means he accepted my offer. All right. So if I am ready to pay, so it means offer from his side and acceptance from my side. So no issue. Okay. So the main point is anything that demonstrates the agreement, the mutual agreement, the consent between buyer and seller can be considered the ijab and qabul. Okay. So ijab and qabul through words. We can use the modern technology to make an offer and acceptance. It is not necessary it should be face to face. It can be face to face. It can be online through video calls, audio calls, Skype, Imo, WhatsApp, many things nowadays, right? So we can use any of the tools to make offer and acceptance. Okay, if let's say there is no words at all, ijab and qabul by action. Whatever by action, let's say I go my din. So in my din, they already put everything on the shelf, right? And with the price. This candy, 5 ringgit, this one, 10 ringgit. So everything is nicely they put on the shelf, right? With the price. So I don't know anybody. I cannot talk. Let's say I don't want to talk. So I just enter the Mydin and I just pick up some items and I pay in the checkout counter and then I come back. So this is called ijab and qabul through action, through conduct. Means there is no single communication between buyer and seller. So this is called in Arabic bay at-ta'ati, right? Bay at-ta'ati. So ta'ati means buyer and seller agree on the price and commodity and exchange between them without any ijab and qabul, right? Sometimes there may have an expression from one contracting party. For example, common practice in house rent, online shopping, um, maybe, but maybe not. So whatever, ijab and qabul can be done without any single wording. So the seller just put everything online, put all the pictures, all the features of the product, right? Everything, and we just enter and we just agree, we pay, and then we got delivery, right? So this is called by at-ta'ati, ijab and qabul. So ijab and qabul can be done without any single wordings. The scholars have some different opinion on ta'ati, but more or less everybody agrees. There is no issue. Hanafi, Maliki, Hanbali, the majority says allow. Shafi has different opinion, but they also agree. No issue. Why? Because as I mentioned in the beginning, consent is the only requirement, right? For the Sharia perspective, from the Sharia perspective. I cannot take other people's asset unless he or she agrees. So how we get to know about the consent? We have to refer to the custom, the urf, right? And also there is no hadith from the Prophet and his companions that the pronouncement of ijab and qabul in ordinary transaction is mandatory. There is no hadith that the ijab and qabul should be done through the words. Because in Muamalat, as we have learned from in chapter 1, Muamalat is between rigid and flexibility. Rigid means in a sense that we have to follow certain principles, right? We cannot compromise. For example, riba, gharar, maisir is haram. So this is rigid, strict. But flexible, like this, we can make offer and acceptance the way is convenient for us, right? So, for example, let's say I am in an area in a place that I don't know their language, and they don't understand my language. So how can we communicate? No need the wordings. If the seller put everything with the price, right? And if I agree, so I just pick up and I will pay. So no need to speak each other. It could happen, right? So in that case, Sharia is flexible. No need to talk each other. Just you know the commodity and he agrees on the price. You also agree on the price. Okay. So this is about ta'ati, sales by action. Shafi school, they don't want to allow ta'ati whether the commodity is in a small value or big value. So it is necessary to pronounce either the explicit or implicit wordings, right? Their argument is this is because the intention of the buyer and seller cannot be known except the pronouncement of Hijab and Kabul. But this is not a strong argument. Because as long as I put my item on the table, for example, in the morning, I went on beside the street, and I put on the table all the nasi lemak packet, right? So each packet 3 ringgit, 2 ringgit. It means I agree to sell the asset. That's why I'm here. So even though we don't talk each other, but my action, my gesture, and is clearly demonstrate that I agree to sell the nasi lemak, right? So my intention is clear. All the people who are going to the office, they know why I'm here because I am here in this morning to sell my nasi lemak. So my intention is clear. Okay. So, however, Shafi school they always follow the textual meaning, the text. That's why their opinion is the ijab and kabul should be done through the wordings, right? Through the words. Mm, however, those who says the ta'ati is valid, they have some condition. Subject matter must be fixed, must be an intention. The item must be of small value, including the malikis. Of course, the items cannot be a million ringgit product. A million ringgit product cannot be exchanged without any further negotiation, discussion, many things, right? So if some small item, 10 ringgit, 20 ringgit, 50 ringgit, it's okay. So can purchase anything from Mydin, right? Of course, there is intention because Mydin, they put everything on the shelf. They are spending so much time, so much money on their people. They are paying salary to the people. Why? To arrange all these things. Why? To sell. The intention is very clear. And why we go Mydin? Our intention also clear. We go Mydin to purchase our necessary things. And subject matter is always fixed, right? We can see the item, we can touch the item, we can examine the item. So there is no gharar. And the place also, the price also mentioned over there. Right? So there is no issue at all. Okay. So ijab and kabul can be done by action without any, or by conduct without any wordings. Ijab and kabul can be through writings, right? There is no issue. The majority says writing is similar to verbal communication. Let's say somebody cannot speak. Even somebody can speak, still he or she can use writing, right? The presence of both parties is not required in the writing session. It's not necessary the buyer and seller they are in the same session, right? Writing is prescribed in the Sharia as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded writing the debt, right? إِذَا تَدَيَّنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ when you deal any credit transaction إلى أجل مسمى إذا تدينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى then فاكتبوه write it down. Hmm? However, according to Shafi school, writing is allowed for the one who cannot speak. So Shafi school confine for those who cannot speak, they can use only writing. But majority says no, any people can use writing because writing also clearly indicates my agreement, right? Sometimes some people they cannot speak different language, for example, but they can write. right? Let's say many Malay words, maybe I can write, but I cannot pronounce properly. If I pronounce, the other person will not understand because as a stranger, I may not be able to pronounce as it is, right? So in that case, I just write it down so the other person will understand, right? So it is helpful. So in that case, even though I can speak, but still I can use the writing. So the point is, as long as our agreement, something that demonstrates our consent, that's okay, that's enough to conclude the contract. Okay. Gesture or indication is allowed majority. Hanafi Shafi allow for the one who cannot speak with the condition that it is clear to understand and shows the intention of the parties. So that's the important thing. That's the point. In anything that is accepted for Ijab and Kabul, as long as it is clear to understand and as long as it demonstrates the intention of the party to buy or to sell. Keeping silent. So keeping silent on the occasion of necessity is considered a declaration. Right? For example, I am asking you something and then you just keep smiling, smiling. It means you are happy, you're okay. You're perfectly agree. So this is also can be considered an offer and acceptance on the occasion of necessity. Because if you disagree, of course you can speak and you are free to speak, but still you keep silent. It means you are agree. Okay. So sometimes silence also consider the offer on acceptance. Okay. So these are some way we discuss to express Hijab and Kabul, the words, without words, the action, the writing, the gesture, and the silence. Okay. Principle of Hijab and Kabul through modern technology, as we discussed already, yes, there is no issue, but the acceptance among the parties based on the urf and should be transparent and free from ambiguity, means gharar, uncertainty. So this is the point. I mean, whatever way you utilize the modern technology or classical technology, that doesn't matter. The matter is your intention is clear. The matter is the offer and acceptance is understood based on the custom, based on the culture, based on the common practice. And the main point is there is no uncertainty. There is no ignorance. Oh, I am signing the contract, but I don't know anything. No, I have to know everything before I do the signature on the document. Okay, so it should be transparent. Everything must be disclosed, and then there should not be any uncertainty, any gharar. The condition for Hijab and Kabul, the intention of the party should be clear. The Kabul should in line with the Hijab, right? The Kabul should in line with the Hijab. The Hijab should made first and then the Kabul. The conformity of the Hijab and Kabul on the same subject matter. I made the offer to sell your house, but you are saying, okay, I will sell my car, right? Cannot. Same subject matter. And the Hijab should relate to the Kabul in the same session of the contract. This is the important, the contracting session, right? For example, what is the contracting session? For example, we meet together in a place and we sit together to discuss. And let's say our duration of discussion is half an hour or 1 hour. So whatever we have to complete within this 1 hour. If let's say I made the offer, but you didn't reply anything and you go out from the session. So after that, my offer will become invalid. All right. If we want to discuss again, then I have to make another new offer. So the offer means the Ijab and Kabul will be valid, will become valid as long as the contracting parties are in the same session. So if they close the session or if they ended up the session or if they go out, from the session without completing the contract, so the Hijab and Kabul will become invalid, no more valid. After that, if we want to discuss again, there should be another new Hijab and new Kabul. So this is called Hijab should relate to the Kabul in the same session. So I made the offer in this session, but there is no Kabul from other side, and the person go away, go out. So after that, he cannot accept my Hijab unless I make another new Hijab in another new session. Right? Same goes the online contract. In online contract, when we log in, so let's say the buyer also logged in, the seller also logged in. But if one of them and they log out, so after logging out, the Hijab and Kabul will become invalid. Right? This is about Majlis Sulakat. I am talking about session of the contract. So Majlis Sulakat is the place where the contracting parties meet and bargain. Majlis Sulakat means the session of the contract or contracting session, right? And the place where the buyer and seller meet together and bargain and discuss. So the important aspect of Majlis Sulakat. So what is the definition of Majlis Sulakat? It's a long definition, academic definition, but the brief is, the gist is the place where the contracting parties meet together and discuss. So that place can be physical place, can be virtual place also, no problem. Okay. So the important aspect, this is Majlisul Akad, right? This is Majlisul Nikah, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Where is the girl? Okay. So the important thing in Majlisul Akad is, the main component is the place and the time, right? So it should be the same place. Same place means maybe physically, maybe virtually, same time. For example, right now, the buyer and then the seller, they are online. They logged in a room, in a chat room, right? Or let's say they come in the Zoom or in the Webex. So this is the place and time, right? This is the virtual place and real time. So the component of Masjid Sulakat is the place and the time. Means the contracting parties, they should be together in the same place, whether physically or virtually, and same time. Okay. Can the concept Majlis Sulakat be applied in the modern day transaction? Yes, of course. I already discussed, but this is also you can pick up for your assignment. So you can discuss also. Okay. The online shopping or application of Majlis Sulakat in modern day transaction. Okay. So we are about to finish our chapter. We discussed the definition of hijab and Kabul. We discussed many Sharia rulings related to different means and ways to express the hijab and Kabul. And finally, we discussed the concept of Majlisul Aqad and application of Majlisul Aqad in modern day transaction, in online shopping and so on. Okay, this is the review question for you. It will be easy for you if you go through the review question. You can easily understand the chapter. Okay, based on you reading the chapter, discuss the modern day application of hijab and Kabul and Majlisul Aqad. Support your argument with scholarly opinions and examples. This one you can discuss in the group. Okay, so I will open a short assignment on the clip. So as you submitted before, so you can submit on the clip, right? By groups, not by individual. Okay. If you cannot submit on the clip, you can submit all the files together through my email. Okay. So maybe you have to read some articles on this. So briefly, one page enough. One page enough. And if any group want to pick up for your assignment, and project, you can also do this. In that case, you have to read widely. Huh? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So now it's your turn. So is there any question or anything from your side? Okay. Any question? Anything? So do you understand? Faham? Okay. Because silence also gives some message, right? That's why you keep silent. Okay. So any question? So based on this chapter we discussed today, you can pick up the documentation in Islamic. They have documentation. They prepare the document for each and every contract, right? So you can go through what should be the documentation process for an Islamic financial contract. Okay. Is the concept of Majlis Sulakat is just about the place? I mentioned 2 points: place and time. Okay. The main components of Majlis Sulakat is about the place and time. For example, place is virtual place can be, as we are now in the virtual place, right? We are the same place online, and we are the same time, real time. So place and time, right? Place and time. Perfect. Okay. If the condition are met, is it possible to do an Hijab and Kabul with just a message? Yes, why not? Yes, yes. WhatsApp, Telegram, email, or via online meeting, WebEx, Google Meet for marriage? Yes, for marriage also okay, but for marriage there is some extra condition. There are some additional condition. What is that? What are that condition? It's not easy. The boy and girls just discuss and come together online and okay, Hijab and Kabul done, we got married. No. For marriage, there should have wali, right? Guardian. There should have witness too, right? And also nowadays, and it is also Sharia requirement, registration from the government, right? Authority. So for marriage, yes, marriage can be done through online platform, Webex, Google Meet, whatever. But it should come together. The guardian means the family, the witness, and the registration. Okay, Ammar? Not easy, huh? It's not easy, man. Because marriage is something is very important. It's the foundation of a civilization, of our civilization, family. That's why the rights and responsibilities should be established and protected perfectly. All right. That's why there should be wali, guardian, there should have witness, and also should have registration. Yeah. But the medium online is okay. For example, Majlisul Nikah. Majlisul Nikah can be online, no problem. No. Okay, any other question? I hope you understand, Ammar. Any other question? Okay. Okay. So I hope you got some idea and also some idea how to do assignment, how to pick up the topic for assignment, right? Don't pick up topic from the slides. For example, based on the today's topic, you can choose e-commerce, online shopping. You can discuss also many other way of buying and selling through online. You can make a case study of some online companies, for example, right? Whether they are Islamic or not, is there any issue, right? Yeah. Okay. So if there is no more question, then okay, we can conclude the session. And thank you very much. I hope you understand. If still you have any question, you can discuss always on the WhatsApp, and I will share you my recording as well. So thank you very much for listening, and wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subhanaka Allahumma astaghfiruka ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa atubu ilayk. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Doctor.